with Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, dog. I'm Who You With Kirk, dog. Hopefully everybody is having a great day today. What is it? Monday. My days is all thrown off. Wasn't on yesterday. Got my second shot on Friday, and man, it hit me hard. So I'm still not at 100%. So I said I'm gonna come on tonight for a little bit, and I'm gonna get up out of here. But hopefully y'all had a great day so far, and hopefully you have started. You have gone out and voted early. We have runoff going on all across the metroplex. We have Deborah Peoples that can make history in the city of Fort Worth. So shout out to Miss Peoples, and hopefully she pull it off. She could be the first, not only an African American to win that position, but also she could be the first African American female to win that position as the city mayor. Then we have Arlington have a runoff, and then Dallas have 6 candidates that is in a runoff right now. Um, and then, you can't forget about Junior Ezino and also Kirk Johnson out of Grand Prairie that is in a runoff also. So no matter where you at, if you're in those cities, please take the time to vote. You saying that you want to see change? That's where change started. It started by getting out and voting. And so definitely get out, let your voice be heard, and get out and vote. That's the best thing we could do. Just like we did in November, you can see when we show up and vote, things start to move. That's why Trump is no longer in office. For the simple fact, we showed up and got him out of office. So definitely go out, uh, get in on this early voting. It goes until June 1st, next Tuesday. Early voting, but voting on Monday, on Memorial Day. So June 1st is the last time you can early vote. Then the election is on June 5th. So definitely get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. I don't care who you voting for, but you making a difference by getting out and voting. So definitely do that. And man, it's I had a lot I was going to talk about last night, but when I tell you I'm not in the best of it, oof, I had to lay hands on myself this morning. I told my wife, I don't know, is I'm 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 not feeling too great, but I said I'm gonna come on. Um, so also we're gonna hit on a couple of things tonight. Dylann Roof. Y'all remember Dylann? He's the one that did the mass shooting um, in Charleston at the Charleston church shooting. He don't want to take the death penalty off the table. After you murder all those folks that 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 really accepted you to come in with them on Bible study, prayed with you, then you betrayed them and murdered them, and you want to appeal the death penalty. None of those folks coming back. None of them are coming back. So how are you going to try to appeal something and you are responsible for it? So to me, it don't make any sense. You want to try to appeal it, but why? You did it. Hey, I think we need to change some more laws. When it's something like that, why waste money? Oh, in case y'all don't know, he's the one that went to, I believe, Burger King. Once they caught him, they had enough time to stop him by Burger King because he said he was hungry. Yeah, yeah. Dylann Roof, the South Carolina man convicted of murdering 9 members of a black church congregation, is appealing to have his sentence overturned. Roof became the first person sentenced to death for a federal hate crime after the 2015 shooting of a Bible study group at Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston. Yeah. Roof defense attorney have asked that his sentence be suspended until proper. What the heck? We know he not playing with a full deck. Um, they want to check him out for mental illness, and it should have prevented him from being sentenced to death. Mm, yeah, but he knew what he was doing, though. U.S. District Judge Richard Georgel previous held 2 uh, hearing. No, got pop up showing up until a proper evaluation can be conducted. Excuse me. One before the start of his trial and one before his sentencing phase. Roof attorney said the client conclusion believed that he would be rescued from prison by other white supremacists, preventing him from failing previous from uh, from previous hearing. Yeah, he thought he was going to be saved, bust out of jail by other white supremacists. So why should we spare your life? Um, I don't understand it. I don't know what you want us to do. Feel sorry for you? I don't. You didn't feel sorry for those 9 people that you murdered. So no, you shouldn't be overturned. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. But since you done the crime, guess what? You have to do the time. And if it's death, let it be death. Um, Unfortunately, in this situation, you murdered 9 people. It's not that you have mental illness; you have that illness of racism. So yeah, you should be held accountable. You should receive the death penalty. That's what you did with those 9 church members that allowed you to come in a church, prayed with you, welcome you in with open arms. Then you turn around and kill 9 of them. Yeah. And then the cops want to take you to Burger King. Burger King. I don't even eat that. Um, Last time my wife and I eat that, mm-mm, nah, I won't do it. Just something about Burger King won't have. And I'm drinking plenty of fluid, so I know y'all hear me pouring my water in my cup, but it's definitely like I said, I'm not at 100%, and hopefully I I will be able to get back to it. Hopefully tomorrow I feel much better, but I do not want to feel like I did yesterday. So if you're in Texas, it's a couple of laws that came out over the last couple of days, and one just recently came out that's probably going to be signed here pretty soon. Um, which which is crazy. And I posted this on my social media when this one came out. But Texas division be a limit how students learn about current events and historic racism passed by Senate. Other words, what they saying they want to whitewash the history of America. That's all they're trying to do. They do not want the real history of America taught in our schools. But that's why it's so important that we, as the people, teaches our kids the real history of America. Because if we don't, it will die. It will fade away. But at the same time, um, when I talk about voting, it's for a good reason. Because these same folks that are passing these laws, it's time to make a change and send them a message. We're not going to take this anymore. It's time for you to step aside. Starting with Greg Abbott. Um, then we have Dan Patrick, Ken Patson, the Board of Education, who is all up for re-election next year. So we need to start making plans to um, getting them prepared to leave office because they don't care about what's true for everybody. And the thing is, because of the way society is today, with all the issues that we have going on, with the different uh, police shootings that's going on in America, the ones that have took an oath to protect and serve us have turned around and killing us. And then they would lie and say um, we was resisting, or they thought they seen a weapon. Whatever they would lie about. For 2 years, Ronald Green, um, they told his family he died in a car accident after a car chase. But just the other day, the video came out, and we see that that was all a lie. Now, I haven't checked today. I wasn't feeling that good, but I know as of yesterday, still no charges been brought up against these Louisiana state troopers who actually should be held accountable. Once, because they lied and falsified documents. Two, because they murdered him. And three, whoever was involved to cover up that murder, including the captains, they all need to be held accountable. How can you protect the citizen of the state of Louisiana or anywhere else, and you're lying and saying they died in a car accident? But thank God Ronna had a mother that didn't give up, that kept on fighting. Because she kept fighting, the truth have came out. And see, that's the problem that a lot of us have. A lot of us have this problem for the simple fact that when people tell us something, we automatically want to believe they're telling us the truth. But you have to go and investigate, and you got to search a little bit, do your research. And if you feel deep down in your heart, don't stop until you reach it, the answer that you're looking for. And because of his mother, she kept on pushing the issue, and finally got the videotape released. And because the videotape was released, now we know the truth. 2 years ago, well, guess what? I briefly heard about the story, but I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. And a lot of people that been doing these type of stories 2 years ago, a lot of people probably have forgot about it. But because the mother continued to fight behind the scene and fought and fought and fought until she got the video released. And she said in her interview, I haven't cried, I haven't strained, because I did not believe what they told me about my son. Here it is. You have Runner Green on camera apologizing to the officer for sending them on a police chase, apologizing that he was scared to pull over. And unfortunately, that is the history of America. For the simple fact we go through this, we've seen so many people get pulled over that should be a simple traffic stop. Next thing you know, here come another hashtag. Another hashtag where another black or brown is killed again. But we supposed to be fair, and also we supposed to trust the police and act like everything is going to be okay. But how can we trust the same people that is killing us? Now, I'm not saying all the cops are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I know a lot of great cops. So I'm not saying I can't trust all of them, but it's a lot of them I won't trust. But here it is. Runner Green was apologizing to these officers saying, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run. I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. But then I think they said his chest bone was broken. And they showed one video where the cop had his foot on his back after he was in handcuffs laying on his stomach. And then you hear another officer saying just let him lay on his stomach on the ground, knowing that they recommend you don't do things like that because that can kill a person. But then you turn around, you complaining about all the blood that have gotten on you. Well, the blood can't get on you if you're not beating this man to death. And then looking at the photos, the damage that is done to his head. Yeah, you beat that man to death. And you want to walk around here just scotch-free. Louisiana, y'all need to step up, because here it is. One of your own have actually died at the hands of the police. And it shouldn't be like that. Never should be like that. The same ones that have sworn to protect and serve are killing us every day. Yeah, we may not hear about it every day, but if you look at the stats of how many innocent folks that have been killed by the police just in the last year, as we approaching the 1 year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. We all witnessed that. But here it is. People still too blind to see that America have a race problem. First thing people want to do is pull up their background or say what they should have complied. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have resist. But what if that was you? What if that was your family member that was dealing with something like this? How would you feel? You get that phone call saying that your family member is in the morgue, and then you find out how they died. And they say, well, he got stopped by the police. He got stopped by the police and things went wrong. How would you feel? What if all these cops that was killing these folks, if they was black? How would you feel? And all the victims was white. How would you feel? The thing is, at some point, you have to think for yourself. Remove color from the picture. And think about my brother, my sister. Regardless of what color you are, is being murdered by the same person that's supposed to protect and serve. Now, the thing is, a lot of people say, I'm a Christian. Well, if you're a Christian, you would know the difference. You would know the difference in it. But some people get blindsided, or not blindsided. Some people just get blind because once they find out it's a black person, it's no outrage. Oh, here come BLM. Here goes Antifa. Here goes this. Here goes that. Well, all of you should be upset because every time one of those cops murders someone or lie about murdering someone, it's just getting closer and closer to your own back door. Just a matter of time. It's mighty funny how all these killings by the police department are happening by white cops. You don't hear too much about a black cop shooting an unarmed person. How do a black cop have so much uh, restraint to keep from shooting someone that is unarmed? But unfortunately, the white cops can't. So the thing is, we need to make some changes. We need to make some tougher laws to hold them accountable. Yeah, people say, well, cops are, we hold them at a higher standard. Yeah, we should. They gone through the training. They've been taught to de-escalate, but unfortunately, a lot of them don't. Once they get out on their own, or if they get with the wrong person that's trained them, that de-escalate is gone. Then we have Texas sentence. Oh wow. Yeah. Um, so they came to an agreement where they're actually going to and my story not pulling up, but I go with it by off the top of the dome. How, how's old school say off the dome. But the House Bill 1927 is heading to Greg Abbott's desk. He said a long time ago, if it get to his desk, he's gonna sign it without a problem. Now, what they're claiming, that's gonna happen is they're gonna take that bill, supposed to make stronger gun laws, but it's opening up where anybody who can pass the background check able to freely carry a gun openly or concealed. Openly or concealed. But here's the problem with the race war that we're in, and I'm gonna call it a war because we have politicians speaking racist comments. We had a last administration making racial comment, praising racial folks. And because the tension in this race war that we're in is causing a problem. But it shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that at all. For the simple fact, if we're all a child of God, which we are, some of them claim we are, but then they turn around and mean mug your neighbor. Uh, I don't like them just because the color of their skin. But if you cut your finger, I cut my finger, guess what? We both gonna bleed red. So it wouldn't even make a difference. This gun law, they say it's supposed to help make stricter laws for people that's not supposed to have them. I don't know how you're gonna figure that one out. Because one thing in the law, they said that the police officer won't be able to do, they won't be able to just approach people and question them or check them out about their weapons. Code name stereotype. Now, here's the problem with the race tensions that we have today. The problem is with that, we're going to have folks getting upset. And the first thing they're going to holler, I felt like my life was threatened. I say all the time, just because you're able to get a gun doesn't mean you should have one. Everybody is not mentally able to deal with a gun. That's why we have all these all these mass shootings going on. Everybody not able to do that. Mentally, they not stable to be able to have a weapon, or they shouldn't be able to have one. Because just because you have one does not mean that you mentally able to carry one. Just because somebody cuts you off doesn't mean you get upset, grab your gun, and shoot someone. That's kind of like the, the 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 little child that was killed. I believe it was over the weekend or last week or something in California. Him and his mother driving down the highway, and she got over. Someone got upset. Next thing she knew, she heard a loud bang, and the baby gonna say, "Mommy, my tummy hurt," and died. All because someone felt like she cut him off. Road rage. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But just because somebody cut you off, don't give you the right to pull your piece and shoot at them. That's kind of like several years ago. And I had the video to pop up to remind me about it. But the guy that was, I want to say it was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, several years back. He actually had a, uh, don't know how it started, but this guy ended up getting into it with another driver. He get upset, pull his gun, pointing at the driver. Driver take off. He start pursuing this driver. Now he had lights and sirens on his vehicle, but guess what? He wasn't a police officer. So he's pursuing this car, chasing him, calling 911. Oh, this guy did this. You're not a police officer. You have lights and siren on. You're impersonating a police officer. Because check this out though. The dude had his two young kids in the back seat and they crying saying they want to go home. You putting your life at jeopardy and you putting your kids' life at jeopardy. But why? Why? It's not worth it. Then you turn around, the guy that he was pursuing, they stop at a stop sign, the guy back up, ram his vehicle, take off again. He go pursuing him again, calling 911, saying, I'm about to blast this dude. They stop again. Guy ramming again, back into him. Guy get out the car. This time he just started shooting. He didn't care about nobody that was around there or where those bullets was going. He just started shooting at the truck. So just because you have a gun, it doesn't mean you can take law into your own hands. And I say all of this about this guy because he's getting ready to be sentenced. I think child endangerment, firing a firearm, and some other stuff that was along with it. Yeah, they should have threw the book at him. Because what if one of those bullets would have hit someone? One of those bullets would have, because once the bullet come out, it's going somewhere. You may not know about it, but it's going to go somewhere. You may not know exactly where it went. But because this guy felt like he was big and strong, he can do what he want to do. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. This law, I feel that um, it shouldn't pass. Yeah, I know some people are gonna say, "Well, it's our rights. It's our rights." Um, um, So I know some people gonna feel like it shouldn't pass. Feel like it should pass because it's their rights. And the thing is, yeah, it's our rights, but that doesn't mean it should be done. And then on top of that, they're doing this where people don't have to get the proper training. What they call training is doing an online course. Um, what the? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. My computer went to update early, and then it came up talking about your computer finna restart in 59 seconds. I'm like, hold on. Uh, so I don't know. My computer, I guess it had a shock too. But welcome to the show, T Cal. Hey, Kurt Dog, you doing all right out there in Dallas with all that rain? It been raining. I don't know. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna crawl back into bed because I'm tired. Um, as what's on for tonight. Well, we talked about early voting started here in Texas. Dylann Roof seek to get conviction overturned. That's the guy that shot and killed 9 church members at a prayer service in Charleston, um, uh, North Carolina or South Carolina, one of them. But he shot the 9 church members several years back, and him don't want the death penalty. But hey, okay. Then we also talked about the House Bill 1927 heads to Greg Abbott desk. So that's the gun law bill here in Texas, which I feel like it shouldn't go. And we also heard about the um, how they don't uh, want to sensitize. Yeah, I guess that's a good name for it. Want to sensitize um, with the current events and historic racism in America in school. They don't want the full story taught. Parents, that's why we need to teach our kids our history. We need to teach them. We can't depend on the teachers to teach them because you leave it up to the teacher. Now have your kids singing these songs, one little, two little, three little Indian. Okay, I didn't realize that, but I'm just saying we got to teach our kids the real history of America. Um, yeah, I hit a lot, but I said at the beginning I'm not gonna be on here long. Because I'm not feeling my best. So, but definitely thank you for always tuning in. I see we have several people on Twitter, Periscope. Well, it'll be Twitter now, Twitch, even on YouTube. So, welcome y'all to the show. If you just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt, though. You can live chat with us during the show and give us your opinion about it and let us know how you feel. Um, but those are a couple of stories I wanted to hit on tonight. I know I didn't come on last night because I wasn't uh, um, I, I I just wasn't feeling all that good. It was a last minute decision not to come on because I was like I kept trying to talk myself into it. I'm like I can do it, I can do it, but my head was killing me, and I said no. And then I kept having chills. I'm like, nope, not gonna do that. T Cal said, I hate to hear that, but love to hear and watch you when you're on. I appreciate it. And I should have put a rerun on. I didn't even think about it. I was like, I was out of there. So I think last night was the actually I didn't even get much sleep last night. I think I finally went to sleep about 2:30 and I was back up about 5. So yeah, that was a short night. But definitely keep tuning in. Hopefully, I feel better than what I did yesterday, but kind of have hit and miss. Um, Earlier, while I was waiting for the computer to update, I started kind of feeling bad again. I'm like, oh Lord. But I said, no, I'm gonna fight through it. So definitely continue to tune in as I get my strength back. I will be doing more things. And I appreciate all the phone calls and text messages checking up on me, making sure I'm good. I'm I'm there, and I would recommend anyone, if you're still on the fence about taking the vaccine, it does not affect everyone the same. It don't. Um, I did take it for the simple fact that um, I want to make sure I keep my family and I safe. And even then, you still got to be careful. You still need to. I know what Greg is saying about lifting the mask mandate. I'm still wearing my mask. I don't care. I'm gonna wear my mask for the simple fact it's been known that people have gotten the virus, they've been vaccinated, and they let their guards down. So they don't know enough about this virus. Even though I feel a little bit better, but I felt better about taking the vaccine, but that don't end there. You still need to protect yourself, and that's what I'm doing, protecting myself. So um so hopefully you have had the options of going ahead and take the vaccine if you haven't taken it. um I will recommend it, and I've known some people that have taken it before me, and some people didn't have no side effects at all. Some people had minor side effect. Some people say the first shot, oh, it had them down about a day or two. The second shot, they didn't feel anything. So it affect everybody a little bit different. And for me, if you've been following me for a while, I've gone through some stuff and still dealing with some stuff. So I'm thinking that's the reason why it kind of hit me a little bit harder. Um, because I had to get it approved before I went and took the vaccine. So I think it probably hit me a little bit harder because I'm doing other things at the same time, which I was skeptical, but they gave me the green light to do it. So I'm sure uh, later this week um, I'll be feeling much better. But meanwhile, no matter where you are, if voting is going on in your city, please get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. No matter what, get out and vote. Go vote, vote, vote. One time in the county you supposed to. Go vote. We are in the middle of runoff election. I know here in Texas, I think they said it's in the metroplex, it's like 24 counties or something. Dallas have six um, candidates that it's in the middle of a runoff. Uh, Carolyn King Honor, um, she would always have my vote. So, um, like I said, Junior and Kurt, they will have my vote. Um, if I was in Fort Worth, there were people would have my vote. So it's time to make a change. Stop complaining about what's going on, what you don't like. If you want to change it, get out and vote. Do something different than what you've done in the past. The best thing you can do is get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. That's how you make a difference. Yeah, protesting is bad. It's a good thing to protest. It's a good thing to go out and march. But also while you're doing that, make sure you register to vote. Get out and vote. Make sure you sit on these jury trials, because we've had a lot of people within the Metroplex that actually have um, actually been um, accused of a crime they did not commit. So get out and vote. Get out and vote. Do what you have to do, your civic duty, and let your voice be heard. I don't care who you vote for. I can tell you who I would support, but if you're not in that area, that don't mean you can vote for them. But you can always do your homework for the ones in your area. Reach out to the candidates. Ask them questions. Ask them, hey, what are you going to do for our community? What exactly are you going to do? What do you stand for? How can I trust you? And if they keep saying everything that you see that's going on in the city, I have my hands on it, but they don't tell you what they stand for, that's a difference. You need to know what they stand for. Why should I vote for you? Because the thing is, you turn around, I only see you during election time. And sometimes I don't see you then. That's how you make a difference. Start showing up at the city council meeting. Show up at them. Oh, they'll pay attention. You could go in there, don't have to say a word. You could just show up and tell them, I just want to know what y'all talking about. See what's coming for the city. And watch how they will pay attention to everything that's going on, everything they say, everything they do. They will pay attention. They won't be able to do it when it's more eyes on them and it's not them amongst their self. But when they have big brother looking over their shoulder, or big sister looking over their shoulder, they have to do things different. But before you go down to the city council meeting, get registered to vote and vote. That's how you do it. Vote. That's how you make real change. That will make a difference no matter where you are, by getting out and vote. You have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Uh, TK, I'm talking about it's funny you say that. That's something my husband would do. Hey, you got to get your husband on the show one day, get him to tune in. But the thing is, I talk about voting so much because a lot of us feel that local voting is not important. And it is. It's very important. Every election is important. If it's not important, if it wasn't important, they would not be trying to do a new voter suppression. And people probably say, hey, Kurt, dog, what you mean about voter suppression? What are they doing? Well, I was reading an article earlier in the southern sector of Tarrant County, and also in the southern sector of Houston, Texas. they're changing the number of polling places in those areas. And all of this is taking effect in the minority areas where some people may not have cars, may not have the means to get way across town to go and vote. But if no one says anything about it, it's not a problem. But then I also notice in these same areas, they was increasing the voting location in the Republican area. If it's going to be fair, if it's going to be fair, make it fair across the board. That's kind of like this morning on the news. Like I said, I didn't sleep too good. I got up, caught the early morning news. They mentioned early voting, the ballots for early voting need to be postmarked and delivered by tomorrow. And they saying if you need a request for a ballot, it needs to be postmarked and delivered by tomorrow. Now the mail is not going all that fast no more. So you telling me I got a request for a mail-in ballot today, then it have to be postmarked and delivered by tomorrow. It's not where it'll be postmarked on the day of election, and you have until the 5th to get it there. Nah, it must be postmarked and delivered by tomorrow. Now, I don't know how that's going to get there that quick, even locally. I just don't see it. Yeah, back in the days, you could get local mail that quick, but we still in the middle of a pandemic. But people say it's not a problem with voter suppression. That's why we need to get the leaders here out of Texas out of office. Because of them. Because of them, it's a problem. They don't see nothing wrong with it. They not for everybody. They only for a certain group of folks. And unfortunately, I'm not in that group. And if I had that opportunity to be in that group, I won't sell my soul to be a part of the haves and the have-nots. So that's why we need to make a difference. That's why we need to get out and vote. We need to make sure we get out here and let your voice be heard. We don't need runoff election where only 200 votes been cast. One person have 102 votes, and the other one have 98 and decide the race. We don't need that type of results. Why these laws not working for us? It's because they feel like, well, not that they feel like it. They know a lot of y'all, because I vote. And I'm saying y'all, They know a lot of y'all not going to get up and vote for these small elections, but these are the biggest ones. We have to change our mindset about this. You say you won't change? Let's change together. Change, go to the polls. Go to the polls. Make sure you go to the polls and let your voice be heard. So, other than that, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. If the good Lord say the same, I will be back tomorrow night. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like I said, I'm not at 100%, but I'm getting there. My mouth is dry. Feel like sandpaper off in it. But um, but other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow if the good Lord say the same. Until then, peace.